Hello, people. Good afternoon to you all. I think it's been a while. It's been like a couple of days that we had the last live. So, yeah, good afternoon to you all. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? It's been a while we had this live. But yeah, it's great. It's nice to have us back and have a conversation. How are you guys doing? How's life? Trust you're doing great. Trust things are going according to plan. All right. I'll just quickly go into the live so I don't waste time at all because we have a great topic to talk about today. We are still in the built value series, and this series has been so good, so awesome. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for um, lending us your voice. Thank you for the comments on the videos. It's been great. Let me start today with something subtle but revealing. The people who are easiest to offend are usually not the most powerful in the room. Based on what we've been talking about, I started looking at it. I'm like, okay, now when you're in the room, the people who are the most easiest to offend are usually not the most powerful. And the people who carry the most influence are often the calmest. Can you attest to that? Have you seen that in your day to day? Most of the time, the people that are most powerful are usually the calmest. Often, not because they don't feel things. All right, I'll say that not because they don't feel things, they don't feel they don't feel the pain, or they don't want to react, but because they've learned not to react to things. The most powerful people in the room have learned not to react to things. Remember, in episode 1, we talked about value. Episode 2, we talked about boundary. Episode 3, we talked about consistency. Episode 4, we talked about environment. Episode 5, we talked about identity. Now, this is episode 6. Episode 6 is about emotional control. Emotional control. And all of these are still in the built value series that we'll be talking about. Because emotional control is not it's not suppression, my friend. It is not suppression. It's not you trying to suppress things. No, it is selection. Emotional control is more of selection, not suppression. Now, for those of you that are online and those of you that will watch this later, have there been any time where you reacted emotionally and immediately wished that you hadn't said yes or no? Have you been in that situation where you just reacted out of impulse and immediately you wish, oh, I just goofed? Or like, oh, I shouldn't have said yes. I should have said no. I should have waited a little bit. I should have thought about it. Emotional control. I do believe that there's no one of us that have not been in that shoes before, where you just react out of, I don't even know, impulses. Like, oh yeah, oh no. Then later you're like, oh, I should have waited a little bit before reacting. Have you ever been in that shoe? But let me tell you, friends, it's not weakness though. It's not weakness, it's experience. It's actually experience and not weakness. So as usual, we'll go into the truth that these topics talk about. We'll go into different truth. Truth number 1: offense is an invitation. Offense is an invitation. Here's the first truth: offense is an invitation for you to hand your emotional energy to something that may not deserve it. Offense is an invitation for you to hand over your emotional energy to something that may not deserve it. Now, let's take something like in the workplace. Someone makes a comment in a meeting. Now, it is subtle, or a different tone, or a look, or a dismissive phrase. You feel it. Understand? Oh shit. You're like, oh, you shouldn't have said that. That's too direct. That's you're trying to oppose me or something like that. And once you feel it, now you have a choice. Right now you have a choice. You either react emotionally and let the room see it move you, okay, or you stay composed and keep control. Most of the time, it's like this is easier said than done. It's easier said than done, because when you are in that moment, most of the time you are pushed to reacting. You are pushed to reacting. Hello, Sarah, I see you. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're joining us from. Hello, thanks, I see you. Thank you for joining. Now, when you're in that moment, you're in the heat of the moment, you are pushed to reacting. But you have a choice though, either to react emotionally or to stay composed. Thank you, James, for joining. I see you. Now, most people react because silence feels like weakness. Thank you, Dank. Silence feels like weakness. That's why most people just react. So once you're in that shoe, whatever is happening, I'm going to deal with it now. You dare not say things like that about me in the meeting. Now, most people react because silence feels like weakness, but silence is often authority. Silence is often authority. It is not weakness at all. Let's take another example in the social media space. Someone misunderstands you online, right? You said something online, or you created a post, and someone misunderstands that post, or even worse, someone misrepresents you. Somebody takes a portion of your post and reblow it up, misrepresent you. What do? Instincts tell you first, oh, I need to clear my image. So you rush. That's instinct. You rush. I need to clear my image. Right? But in doing so, you give the narrative oxygen. Have you thought about it? In doing so, what you have just done, you give the narrative oxygen. Thank you for joining, Carl. I see all of you. Thanks for joining. Once someone say, oh, Matt said this online, and someone distort what I said, if I just rush into to kind of debunk what that person said, I've just given the narrative oxygen. It starts from there. People wants to listen. People wants to. Now, the thing that we're talking about here is that high value people ask one question first. High value people, they ask one question first. Is this worth my response? Is this even worth my response? That is the question they ask first. See, reaction gives power away. Reaction gives power away. That's why at the end of the day, once you respond, just think about it. That time you were in that situation, either in your office, in your school, at home, you respond with a quick yes or a quick no. Then after some time, you sit down and you're like, oh, I should have thought about this before responding. Now I can't take it back. Because in the heat of the moment, you've already answered, you've already said something, and that is what is taking. But if in that heat of that moment you kept quiet, you were able to control yourself. Now you'll be at the position to be able to even give your own side of the story in a better way. Reaction gives power away. Restraint keeps it. Restraint, being silent in the spur of the moment, keeps power with you. All right. Now let's look at truth number two. Truth number two, reactivity signals insecurity. Reactivity signals insecurity. This one is uncomfortable. The faster you react, the more you reveal unresolved insecurity. Something just happened. Somebody said something. Somebody misrepresented you somewhere. Or somebody even used abusive word or a tone that wasn't good. And it was talking to you. The faster you react, what you're just showing is you're just showing insecurity. Like we did say in the beginning of this talk, it is easier said than done, right? When you're in that moment, most of the time you just want to hit back very quickly. But the faster you react, the more you reveal unresolved insecurity. Now, this is not because you're wrong, though. It's not because you're wrong, but because you have been exposed now. This exposed you. What is happening just exposed you. It exposed your person. And most of the time, I think I read it in one book. I've forgotten the title. I need to go get that book again and read that book. The book did say that if you want to actually know someone, the real composition of a person, you put them in that kind of situation, that kind of situation. That is when they will actually tell you their real self, because you will know if they are insecure or if they are someone that could handle those kind of pressure, right? Now let's say, notice how quickly people over explain. Just notice in our world today how quickly people over explain. Something happens, somebody misrepresents somebody else, and the next thing is the other person is holding a press conference. It's over explaining, it's explaining himself. And when they explain, what they're trying to do is, number one, they try to justify their decisions. Hey, hello 88, hello, I see you, thanks for joining. They try to clarify their intentions. They try to defend their character. Confidence doesn't explain itself in a hurry. I want you to take that in this from this live. Confidence doesn't explain itself in a hurry. No. Some people can't let a misunderstanding sit. Now, some people can't let a misunderstanding sit. If you are misunderstood, they just flare up. They try to correct everything. But not every misunderstanding needs correction, friends. It's not. And not every misunderstanding needs my time. If you are a high value person, or if you're trying to build value, one thing you should understand, one thing you should take out of this live or out of this video whenever you watch it, is that not every misunderstanding needs your time. I did say earlier on that is before you respond to this, before you get into the rave of the moment and just respond, kindly think about it. Is this worth your time? Is this worth your time? Is this worth the effort to try to repair, try to do damage control? Is this worth it? Because once you do that, you have given more oxygen to that narrative. You're feeling it. You're feeling it. One thing we should know is this: if narratives are driven, most of the time, if we don't add oxygen to them, they dissolve on their own. They just fizzle out on their own. But the more you talk about it, the more you allow the bloggers take it on, the more you allow social media increase it, the more it becomes a case of this is not going away soon. Confidence doesn't rush, my friends. Confidence doesn't rush. Confidence, it trusts consistency to do the talking. Confidence trusts consistency to do the talking. It doesn't rush to defend itself. I want to ask those of you online and those of you that will watch this video later, where do you feel the strongest urge to defend yourself? Where? Is it in your work? Is it in your family, or online? Online is becoming part of our lives. Do you feel the strongest urge to defend yourself online because somebody said this, somebody said that, somebody said that? Oh, I'm going to respond to them. Now, that area is usually where growth is still unfinished for you. If it's in your family, then you need to work on that. If it's your office, your workplace, you need to work on that. If it's online, you need to also work on that. Because that area where you feel jolted to defend yourself very quickly is an area that you still feel you still need more growth in that area. Confidence doesn't defend itself. Confidence allows consistency to do the talking. The title of this series is still Built Value. And the topic of this particular episode is why high value people are harder to offend. And we did say they are harder to offend because they don't respond in the spur of the moment. They wait. They watch things. Now let's go to truth number 3. Calm is a status signal. I like this one. Calm is a status signal. Let me be clear here. Calm is not passive. It's not you being passive. No, being calm is not being passive. Calm is a status signal. It tells the room, I don't need to prove myself here. When you're calm, what you're trying, the message you're sending is that I don't need to prove myself here. That's what you're telling the room. Let's say let's say you are the leader somewhere and you're presiding over a meeting. You watch the meetings carefully. You just watch. The loudest voice is really the leader. The one that is loudest is really the leader. The leader speaks last most of the time. The leader speaks last. And when they speak, everyone listens. When they speak, everyone listens. You're in a meeting, even in your workplace or at home, anywhere you are. The one that speaks up and speaks loudest is really the leader. The one that is the leader always speaks last. And when the leader is talking, he talks from a place of experience and everyone listens. Some people test boundary emotionally though. They poke you, they provoke you, they push you. Calm response, when you want to respond as a calm person, your response teaches them quickly that this won't move me. Like this, whatever you're doing, this your shenanigans, it won't move me because you're a calm person. Now we did say in the spur of the moment, you have a choice to do one of these two things: to react or to relax and tender your response in a calm manner. And by default, as humans, the first thing we all tend to do, we are all guilty of this, is to react. Is to react. We want to tell you that this what you said is wrong. What you said is not correct. We want to correct you, whether online, whether in the meeting, whether in the church, whether at home. We want to correct you. But if only we can decide to relax and not react, not correct. Let consistency do the talking. You'll discover that you've just taken power from that person. You removed oxygen from that narrative. All right. Now, let me talk to the person who feels everything deeply. You're here, you're very emotional, or you're gonna watch this video later, you're very emotional. You feel everything deeply. Whatever happens, you take it to heart. You're not weak. You're not weak at all. You're perceptive. You're very perceptive. But perception without control turns into emotional fatigue. I said this again, you're not weak. If you're the one that you feel, oh, if something happens to me, I feel it to the heart. I got to react, I get all that. Let me tell you, it's not a weakness though. You've just been perceptive. But the issue is that you're not backing your perception with control. That turns into emotional fatigue. You become a wreck quickly. You don't need to feel less though. You don't need to feel less. And you need to respond less, I dare say. You need to respond less. Core truth number 4. High value people choose their battles. Very important. High value people choose their battles. High value people, they aren't unbothered. It's not as if they don't, oh no, the issue is that they are selective. They are selective. They don't fight every comment. They don't chase every narrative. They don't correct every assumption. Some battles correct themselves. Some battles correct themselves. Some opinions expire, they fizzle away. Some opinions don't need your inputs. And once you don't give an input to that, you've taken off oxygen from that opinion. Automatically, that opinion fizzles away. Consistency does what arguments cannot. A high-valued person lives his life in a consistent way that with time, people will say, no, this can't be true. This can't be true. I want to ask those of you in the chat and those that will watch this video later, what have you been reacting to that no longer deserves your energy? I ask again, what have you been reacting to that no longer deserves your energy? That's very, very important. What have you been reacting to that no longer deserves your energy? Truth number 5. Core truth number 5. Emotional control builds authority. Emotional control builds authority. Now, here's the shift. Okay, here's the shift. The less reactive you become, the more weight your word carry. The less reactive you become, the more weight your words carry. When calm people speak, the room changes posture. The room changes posture. Now, it's not because they are loud. No, not because they are loud, but because they are rare. They don't talk everywhere. They don't say everything. No. When they speak, the room changes posture. And not because they are loud. Because whatever they say is correct and they are rare. They rarely talk. The one that is loudest in the room, I did say, is not always the leader. If you look at it carefully, it's not always the leader. When the leader speaks, people listens. And the leader doesn't jump to speak. No. It takes his time. He listens to others before he speaks. Now, this series, don't tell me, hey Matt, are you saying I should be calm, I should be quiet everywhere? No, this series is not about being cold. This series is not about being cold. It's about becoming disciplined. This series is about becoming very, very disciplined. All right. We started by saying the title of this series is Building Value. Build value. So it's not about being cold. If you have gone through the different episodes, you understand that this series is about being disciplined. So today, ask yourself honestly, what keeps offending you that no longer has authority in your life? This is Matt asking you to ask yourself, what keeps offending you that no longer have authority in your life? And also ask yourself, what will change if you stopped reacting? Or you react to this, you react to that, you react to that. No. What will change if you stop reacting and you start choosing? Remember, friends, value is not claimed. Value is built. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Thank you for your support. We'll be back online later in the evening to talk about episode number 7. But for the time being, enjoy your day and try to stay warm wherever you are. We are experiencing this crazy cold wave around North America now this weekend. Try to stay warm wherever you are and be good. Do have a great day. Bye for now. This is Matt Miller signing out.